Hello and welcome to Thursday with me, Baby Grace, or Wendy Lou Lee. I know I have a funny name, but I'm claiming it. So let's see. Today is, we're talking about the Carters, and I'm really excited about them coming, and I'll have to tell you that I don't know them very well. And so that's one of the most amazing things about going to Walnut Grove. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But let me just give you a little rundown on the Carter family. We'll start with Stan Ivar. He played John Carter. And John, he had a really great career. I was looking, and his very first movie was a sci-fi movie called Creature, and it looks kind of freaky. But he also is, best known on Little House on the Prairie and also NCIS. So those are kind of his big things. But he also appeared in tons of TV series in the 80s, pretty much everything you can think of. But yeah, so there's Stan. I have attended a couple of events with Stan, but since we didn't know each other on the show, by the time he came on, we were gone. Baby Grace was gone. So, I didn't say hello. I'm so sorry. Isabel, Dwayne, Lori, Maddie, and Polly. Thanks for watching. Anyway, we didn't really know each other. We had no interactions. So at the few events that we have been together, we don't really have anything in common. And also he's like a, almost 60-year-old man. So I don't really hang with Stan very much, but, I'm so excited to have the whole Carter family together because that's just amazing. So the one thing that really intrigues me about Stan is that he has the little house. He has the little house taken apart in pieces, and he's storing it on his ranch. And from what I've heard, he would love to put this thing back together and re-erect this amazing part of the little house history. I have heard rumors of it possibly going to Walnut Grove. I don't know if that's just a rumor, to be, near the museum, which would be amazing. Of course, he has to get permissions by all sorts of people and things to be able to do this because, the cast people don't hold the rights to Little House on the Prairie. So anyway, that's just amazing. I can't even imagine the house being put back together. I'm sure it's a wreck. It's been 38 years or whatever. So anyway, but that's a really cool thing about Stan. And he always talks about it every time the cast is together and he's there. He definitely talks about it because we all have questions. But okay, so the next that we're going to talk about is Pamela Roylance, and she played Sarah Carter. And Pam is just a sweetie. I've been to a few events with her, and she has just impressed me beyond belief. She's very classy and very down to earth, which is very interesting. She is so talented. I was looking at her IMDb page, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And the funny thing is that a lot of us haven't done anything since the 80s. But Pam, she's still acting. She had, I can't tell you how many things that she's been in this year. It's amazing. But I'll tell you that the three things that she's best known for is The Social Network, The East, and one of the latest movies, Cradle Swapping, and Little House on the Prairie. But she's been on tons of series, TV movies, shorts, and obviously films. So Pam is really has had a very successful career. She has, in 2019, okay, so she's already been in the TV movie called My Daughter's Ransom. She's been in the TV series 30 Second Somebodies. And another film was just finished called The Creatress. And then there's 2 that are in post-production. This is just in 2019. So she is just like from the 80s, just kept acting in tons of series, tons of shows. It's amazing. So anyway, Pam is brilliant, and I'm very excited to see her. The first time that I met Pam was in 2005 when I went to my very first Little House event in Tombstone, Arizona. And Stan and Pam were there, actually. And so I got to meet them, and I just say, like, Pam is just this quiet, classy lady. She's amazing. So I'm very excited to hang out with her a little bit more and hopefully get to know her a little bit more than I do, because I don't know the Carters at all. Okay, so I'm going to go on to Lindsay Kennedy, and he played the role of Jeb Carter. And hi, Diane. Hi, Carolyn. And Rebecca. Sorry. And Babs. How's it going? Anyway. Oh, Babs just said that she's watching the episode when baby Grace is born right now as she's watching me. Oh, how funny is that? Anyway, so Lindsay played the role of Jeb Carter, and I was looking into some of him. I had to research all these people because I don't know them, like I said. Lindsay did Little House on the Prairie, and then only one other thing it looked like. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which I have to tell you is not really on my radar. It's not something that I would watch. But, and then it got really quiet for Lindsay, and so I'm not really sure what he has done, and I don't even know I don't even know what Lindsay looks like. I have no idea. So it's going to be just really exciting to meet them. Oh, I didn't say hello to some people. Kristen and Warren and Patty and Danny and Jennifer. Hi, in Missouri. Love Missouri. And Johnny. Sorry. I can't look down every time. I'm so sorry if I didn't say hi. Oh, and hi, Rachel. How's it going? Anyway. So I'm very excited to meet Lindsay for the first time. We haven't had any interaction whatsoever. So, next is David Friedman, and he played Jason Carter. And I just have to tell you, like, he just melted my heart on the show. Like, I loved him. He was so great. So great. His expressions and his talent was apparent. Also Lindsay and Dave were brilliant child actors. When I look back and watch, like, even the very first episode of Little House, when they were on it in season 9, they have it down. They, in an instant, could take the weight that Mary and Laura, that Melissa and Melissa Sue carried on that show. They were amazing for how young they were. So anyway, so Dave did a ton of acting as a child. I was amazed when I looked it up. Just everything you could think of in the 80s. I'll just say a couple that, like, I watched, okay? So you'll see what I watched. The Waltons, Chips, Highway to Heaven, and Mr. Belvedere. Do you remember Mr. Belvedere? I do. Anyway, so, and like, I can't even list how many. I just picked out the few that, like, I would remember. So, anyway, so that's him. Oh, so I'll say one more thing is, the most amazing thing about this Little House family that I am so privileged to be a part of is that it seems like every once in a while, an old member of the family, like, just comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden our family gets bigger. And so I feel like this summer we are like embracing 2 more long lost family members. And so I think it's interesting. Somebody had mentioned something about, is that weird that they've never been and now they're coming? And it's like, no, it's so amazing to just have our arms wide open for all of these Little House people that love Little House just as much as we do, even though they haven't been as active in events and all that. They are just part of our family. And so I'm so excited to meet them. Dave and I have exchanged a few things on Facebook. And so I'm super excited about him. Did you guys all see when they announced that Dave was coming to the reunion? And I think it was Paul. Nobody knew what he looked like. And so Paul posted those different pictures and we all had to guess. I thought that was so funny. Obviously, I thought it was really easy to guess because that face, like, how could that face change, And I think he still looks just as adorable and sweet as he did back then as Jason Carter. So I'm going to say just a couple more things, but the last thing that I'm going to say about the Carters is, oh, hi, Sandra and Sharon. Thanks for watching, guys. What I'm going to say about the Carters is my favorite episode. Now, this sounds crazy, but my favorite episode with the Carters is the very first episode of season 9. And it's called Times Are Changing. And I think it's the whole thing where Pa is saying goodbye and letting go of the little house and handing it over to the Carters. And there's just that just so sweet moment where he's really like entrusting them to this amazing place that he's brought up his children and they're grown. And now he's handed over I'm going to start crying. Oh my gosh. And he's going to hand it over for someone else to raise their children in. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really beautiful. And also just the whole fact that you really get to know Jeb and Jason in that episode where Jeb is scared to swim. And so he fell out of the tree. And apparently he's been doing this every summer. And then you have Jason who's just like protecting his older brother, which is this really interesting dynamic of Jason is this brave little boy that's not scared, and Jeb is kind of fearful. And so I just love the interaction of them too. And then Jeb saving Jenny out of the lake because she's like wants to go die and be with her dad. And anyway, it's definitely my favorite episode of season 9. But also I think I maybe it's because, when you like something, you just watch it over and over again. I think I've watched that episode in season 9 more than any of the other episodes. And so maybe that's why also. But anyway, the Carters are coming to Walnut Grove. It's going to be so amazing. And I'm thrilled they got all 4 of them to come. So it's going to be really, really exciting. I know that Amy has a lot of things planned that I didn't even know. I just saw on Facebook today, somebody said, I'm having lunch with you on Friday. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I guess they're like, you can have lunch with a cast person. I have no idea. And so I was like, okay, they just tell me what I do. Hi, Mo. Mo's a little crazy right now. I just do what they tell me to do and show up and whatever. So yeah. Let's see. I guess I have to tell you one more thing. And that is, I'm going to need to say goodbye because if I can be totally and completely honest with you. All right, so my book's almost coming out. I can't believe it. And writing a book was difficult. Yeah, it was a really big project and lots of editing and lots of tearing my hair out, trying to find quotes from every episode that I could think of. And then like relating it to all these stories from my life. And so let me just tell you, the last 2 weeks, I now have realized that writing a book is the easiest part of this. If I could just go back and write another book, it would be easier than what I'm doing now. It seems about every day I get an email from my publicist or my marketing director saying, we just got this great opportunity. You need to write a 1,400-word article for this magazine. Oh, the next day, we have a great opportunity. Can you write a devotion for this really great website that wants to feature you in your book? And the next day, oh my goodness, we have this other blog. They want you to do a guest blog post for this really amazing website that has this huge reach. And I'm like, of course, of course, of course. And then I'm looking at my calendar and I'm saying, how in the heck am I going to do this? I really have what it takes to pull this thing off? So anyway, my time is very limited at the moment, and I'm feeling my plate is beginning to overflow. So this is what I would ask of you, my faithful viewers that are like my friends and my family who I've never met but love dearly. Will you please pray for me? Please, that I would have the energy and the strength and the motivation, but also like these words that would encourage people, and that they wouldn't just be written so that they're done. They would actually be, every word would be something that God could use to further his message and to bring people to know him and to buy my book. Yes, but because then they just hear this really amazing story of how God works in people's lives and how he brings hope to the people that are hopeless, and how he helps us get through hard times, and how he helps us celebrate when things are amazing. Anyway, so if you would just lift up a little prayer for me, and I would so appreciate it. Anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we are getting so close, folks. I can't believe how close we are. Anyway, all right. So have a good day. Love you guys. Bye.